Chosen one. Heaven has paused your timeline. The scroll of your destiny has been opened, and your name is being spoken in the courts of light. You are not hearing this by coincidence. You were guided here. The test has already begun, and this message is your first question in it. Will you stop to listen? Or will you scroll away and forfeit what was meant for you? You felt it lately, an invisible weight pressing on your heart. A stirring that you cannot name. You've sensed something shifting in the unseen. Doors that once opened easily now resist you. People who once celebrated you have grown silent. It feels as though heaven itself is standing still. But what if I told you this is not abandonment? What if this silence is divine attention? Not divine absence. Listen closely. The way you respond in this moment will echo through realms. Every hesitation, every act of faith, every whisper of obedience is being recorded. The throne is watching not to condemn, but to confirm. The test is not about whether you can perform, it's about whether you can remain faithful when you don't understand. Chosen one. You have cried in secret. You have looked up and asked, "Why me?" But heaven replies, "Because you are chosen. You were never meant to blend in. The calling on your life separates you. You carry light in your spirit that terrifies darkness. That's why the warfare around you has intensified, because hell only attacks what heaven anoints. When your prayers feel unanswered, understand this. Silence is not a sign that God has left you. It's the moment He leans in closer to see if you will still believe. The test is not to prove something to God. It's to reveal something in you. Faith that cannot be tested, cannot be trusted. And you, chosen one, are being trusted with something eternal. Right now, the heavens are whispering your name. Angels are watching, recording how you respond to this interruption. Do you recognize that the delay is divine? Do you feel how time slowed just to make space for you to hear this message? This is your divine interruption. Heaven is saying, stop, listen. The next step requires stillness. As the apostle wrote in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 3, the testing of your faith produce perseverance. These words are not a warning, they are a prophecy. Perseverance is not born in comfort, it is forged in pressure. You are in the refining room, and every tear, every unanswered question, every lonely night is shaping the strength that will carry you to your next realm. So do not despise the test. Do not curse the silence. Instead, lift your eyes and say, Lord, I understand. You are being stretched because you are chosen for something bigger. The blessing you prayed for is on the other side of this test. Heaven is measuring your patience, your purity, your obedience. Each moment of resistance is refining your readiness. This is the part where you choose. You can run back to comfort, or you can step into calling. You can complain about the pressure, or you can praise through it. The chosen ones don't crumble, they rise. You are rising even now. What felt like chaos is actually choreography. God is not late, He is precise. You are exactly where you need to be. Now listen carefully. This message found you because the blessing is near. You have 45 seconds left in this divine encounter to decide, will you pass the test by faith or fail it by fear? Heaven is waiting for your response. If your spirit feels this truth burning inside, don't let it pass. This is your confirmation. You were meant to hear this. If you can feel your heart racing, that's not anxiety, it's awakening. The veil is lifting. The test is revealing the warrior beneath the wounds. You are being prepared for a promotion that no one can see yet. But heaven already signed your name on it. All you must do now is remain faithful until the door opens. Chosen one. Before this moment ends, I want you to act on what you feel. If you know this word was for you, take a breath and anchor it. Comment the number 777 as a prophetic act that says, I will not fail this test. Let heaven see your declaration. Then, like this message, share it forward, and subscribe so that you never miss the next word meant to strengthen your spirit. This is not just content, it is covenant. The fact that you've read this far means you are part of heaven's remnant, the few who still listen when God whispers through unexpected vessels. Keep standing, keep believing, and keep walking through the test with unshaken faith, because soon, very soon, you will see that this test was never meant to break you, it was designed to crown you. The weight of the test is not meant to crush you. Chosen one, it is meant to prove the strength heaven already placed inside you. There are moments when you feel as though the sky itself has pressed down upon your shoulders. When breathing feels like an act of faith. When getting out of bed feels like a declaration of war against despair. But that pressure you feel is not random. It is the hand of God shaping you. You are in divine training. Every chosen soul must pass through the wilderness of heaviness. It is not punishment, it is preparation. You prayed for elevation, but elevation always carries weight. God cannot build on a weak foundation, so He allows you to feel the force of what you will one day carry. You are being strengthened for the promise you have not yet seen. When you look at your life, it may seem as though everything is standing still. Opportunities posed, relationships changed, plans fell through. Yet beneath what appears motionless, heaven is moving more than you know. The silence, the waiting, the stillness, all of it is holy ground where God measures the endurance of your heart. Chosen one. The heaviness you carry is not punishment, it's a sacred assignment. It is heaven's way of testing how deep your roots go. Anyone can praise when the blessing is visible, but only the chosen can worship in the fog, when there's no proof, no sign, no sound, just faith breathing in the dark. You are one of them. You may not realize it, but every sigh, every tear, every moment you whisper, I still believe, under the weight of your trial, these are offerings. They rise before the throne as incense. The angels record them. Nothing you've endured is wasted. Heaven keeps the receipts of every pain endured in faith. This test is not about speed, it's about stamina. God is not rushing your breakthrough. He is fortifying your spirit. The longer it feels, the deeper your transformation runs. What He is doing inside you cannot be rushed, because the destiny He has written for you is not fragile. It must last for eternity. Sometimes you look around and see others succeeding easily. They move quickly. Doors open for them without resistance. And you wonder why your path seems so heavy. But what you carry is different. Their speed cannot compare to your depth. You are being trained for something that requires more substance, more strength, more maturity. The weight is evidence that your anointing is uncommon. It's like a tree planted in secret. Before it can bear fruit, its roots must grow deeper than its branches will reach. That's what God is doing with you. He is anchoring you in faith before He reveals you in favor. Because once the blessing comes, You will not have time to grow. You must already be ready. Heaven measures your endurance, not your excitement. The early joy of calling is easy, but the long walk of obedience is where the true chosen ones are revealed. When you choose to stand, even while weary, you become a witness to unseen realms. Every time you refuse to quit, you remind hell that faith cannot be defeated. And though the weight feels unbearable at times, something beautiful is forming within you, a quiet strength that glows even in the dark. That strength is your testimony. That is why your name is being whispered in heaven's council. You have not failed the test by feeling weak. You pass it by refusing to surrender. According to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory to be revealed in us. These words are the divine reminder that pain is temporary, but glory is eternal. The heaviness you feel today is the shadow of the greatness about to unfold tomorrow. Chosen one, understand this: your heaviness has meaning. The ache in your soul is the echo of transformation. You are not falling apart. You are being remade. God is teaching you how to stand in storms without trembling, how to walk through the fire without fear. You are learning divine endurance. There will come a day, soon, when you will look back on this season and understand why the wait was necessary. You will see how each delay protected you, how each silence refined you, and how each loss positioned you. You will no longer call it pain, you will call it preparation. So, breathe. The test is heavy. Yes, but it is holy. The weight you carry today is shaping the wings you will use tomorrow. Heaven is not against you. Heaven is working through you. Every ounce of pressure is a prophecy. You are almost ready, hidden behind every delay. Chosen one, lies a divine purpose, too precise to be seen in the moment. You have stared at closed doors, prayed with tears, and asked heaven the same question over and over: why is nothing moving? But in truth, something is moving, just not in the realm you can see. Every delay you face is not denial, it is the divine classroom of patience. You see, when God withholds an answer, He is not ignoring you, He is upgrading you. He hides certain blessings behind time, because what you are called to carry requires more than simple faith. It requires endurance. If He released it too early, it would crush you instead of crown you. Heaven delays not to punish, but to perfect. Look back at your journey. How many times did you think the waiting would break you, yet somehow you're still standing? That's not weakness, that's growth. Every unanswered prayer trained your spirit to rely on faith rather than feelings. Every silence became a sermon that taught you what no human could teach. Chosen one, every closed door was a form of divine protection. God saw conversations you didn't hear, motives you couldn't see, and traps you didn't recognize. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. What you labeled as loss was preservation. Heaven sometimes hides blessings so the enemy can't intercept them before they reach your hands. There are moments when you knock and the door stays locked, not because you're unworthy, but because you're early. God cannot open a door if the room beyond it is not yet prepared. Timing is an act of mercy. Imagine stepping into a promise that wasn't ready. You'd call it a curse instead of a blessing. So God waits. He waits until your heart, your faith, and your vision align with what He's about to release. You've said, "But God, "I'm ready." And heaven gently whispers, "Not yet, but almost." That whisper doesn't mean he's withholding, it means he's aligning. He's positioning you so perfectly that when the moment comes, everything will fall into place without effort. You will not have to force what's divine. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Habakkuk. Chapter 2, verse 3. "Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Those words still breathe today. What lingers is not lost. What seems to stall is not forgotten. The waiting is sacred space, the moment when God measures your trust more than your talent. When you grow weary of the wait, remember this: delays reveal what you truly believe. Anyone can trust when the answer arrives, but faith proves itself in the silence. In the waiting rooms of heaven, when all you have left is a promise and a heartbeat that still says, "Yes." You are not forgotten, you are being watched with divine affection. There are angels assigned to your patience. They carry reports of your endurance before the throne. Each time you choose to keep believing, the heavens record your obedience. One day, when the moment finally arrives, you will understand that every tear, every sigh, every restless night was not wasted. It was weighed, counted, and transformed into favor. What you are enduring is not the absence of movement, it's the hidden motion of heaven aligning what you cannot see. If the door has not opened, it's because the path ahead is still being cleared. God does not rush miracles, He crafts them with precision. And when that moment arrives, when the long wait finally ends, you will realize that the version of you who prayed at the beginning would never have survived the blessing that's coming. The test built the strength, the delay shaped the vessel. You are not the same. You have been upgraded in silence. Chosen one. I know it's hard to trust when everything feels slow, but heaven is whispering, "Do not give up. I am still working." This waiting season is your spiritual womb. Something holy is growing inside you, even if it feels still on the surface. If your spirit resonates with this truth, if you feel that stirring of recognition deep inside, let it be known. Comment, "Still I wait." These 3 words are not just a statement, they are a declaration of faith. You are telling heaven, "I trust you, even when I cannot trace you." You are choosing belief over bitterness, patience over panic. Keep those words in your mouth as you walk through each day. "Still I wait." Say it when you wake up. Say it when doors stay closed. Say it when the silence feels endless. Because when the time is right, the one who promised will make it happen, and the very delays that once hurt you will become the proof of your divine preparation. You are not waiting for nothing. Chosen one. You are waiting for everything, because what's coming will make sense of everything that didn't. When silence speaks, chosen one, it does not whisper of abandonment, it sings of trust. You have entered a space few are strong enough to stand in, the realm where God hides His voice not to punish, but to purify. You have prayed, fasted, cried, and heard nothing. The heavens seem sealed, yet in that very silence, heaven is closest. The absence of sound is not the absence of God, it is the depth of His presence pressing in, waiting to see if you can recognize Him without noise. It is easy to follow when you can hear instructions. It is easy to worship when you feel His presence. But the true chosen are formed in the quiet places, where no affirmation comes, where you walk by memory of His last command rather than the assurance of new ones. Faith grows strongest when heaven stops speaking, because silence forces you to rely on what you already know rather than what you feel. Chosen one. Silence is the language of maturity. God is not ignoring you. He is inviting you to deeper intimacy. When he goes quiet, it is because he trusts that you already carry his word inside you. The Father withdraws his voice to reveal if his word has taken root. He steps back to let you practice what he has already taught. There are moments when you cry out and feel like your prayers bounce back unanswered. You check your heart for sin, your path for error, wondering if you've lost his favor. But you haven't. Silence does not mean separation. It means he's watching to see if you will still move in obedience when there is no applause. Every silent day is a question. Will you still trust me? The human heart often mistakes silence for punishment, but heaven calls it preparation. You are being trained to hear in frequencies deeper than sound, to sense his movement without needing proof. That is the highest form of faith. To stand steady when the skies say nothing. Do you remember how seeds are planted? They are buried in silence, surrounded by darkness. There is no sound, no movement, no sign of life, until one day the soil breaks and new growth appears. That is what this season is. You are underground, unseen, surrounded by stillness. But the silence around you is not death, it is gestation. Life is forming quietly, away from noise. Chosen one, it takes great strength to walk through a season where heaven seems quiet. But you are doing it. Even now, your persistence in silence is being noted. Angels write it in the records of endurance. Heaven is moved by the believer who worships without response, who prays without evidence, who stands without reassurance. The stillness is not empty. It is filled with divine motion, too deep for your senses to perceive. God speaks in dimensions beyond sound, in alignment, in delay, in opportunities that close so that better ones can appear. Silence is his way of fine-tuning your discernment. When the voice returns, you will know it with greater clarity, because you have learned to listen beneath the noise. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still, and know that I am God." Those words are not an instruction to wait passively, they are a command to trust deeply. To be still means to stop striving, stop searching for signs, and let faith do the seeing. It means knowing that even when your senses find no proof, your spirit can still rest in his sovereignty. The silence is not meant to test your patience, it's meant to train your perception. You are being taught to recognize divine motion in the stillness of your own breath, to sense his presence not in thunder but in whispers. He is there in the pauses, in the gaps, in the calm between your cries. Every prophet, every apostle, every chosen vessel endured a silent season. Even Jesus stood in the silence of the cross, feeling forsaken, yet accomplishing the greatest victory known to eternity. Do not fear this quiet. It is the same silence that surrounds every resurrection moment before light breaks through. The refining fire is never gentle. Chosen one, it crackles, it roars, it consumes everything that cannot last. Yet within its fierce heat lies heaven's most merciful work, the purification of your soul. Fire does not come to destroy gold, it comes to expose it. What you are walking through right now may feel like loss, but in truth, it is transformation. You have been placed in the furnace, not because you did something wrong, but because you are made of something rare. God is not punishing you, He is polishing you. The flame that surrounds you is the proof that heaven has seen value inside you too great to leave unrefined. When gold is purified, the refiner watches it closely. He does not look away. He keeps his eyes on the metal, adjusting the heat with precision, ensuring it never burns beyond purpose. He waits until he can see his reflection in the surface of the gold. That is what God is doing with you. The pressure, the tears, the trials, they are the fire through which His reflection in you becomes clear. Chosen one. I know it hurts. The process feels endless. You may even ask, why does this fire not stop? But remember, the more intense the fire, the purer the result. Every false layer of fear, pride, and doubt is melting away. Every hidden weakness that once held you back is being burned off. You are emerging refined, radiant, and ready for greater things. The prophet Malachi described this mystery with divine clarity in his scroll. Chapter 3, verse 3. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. Notice, he sits. That means he does not leave. While you are in the heat, God remains near, watching carefully, ensuring that not a single spark touches you without His permission. His presence is constant, even when His voice is quiet. You might not see it yet, but this fire is forming a new strength in you, a strength that will carry others when their worlds begin to burn. You are being prepared not just to survive, but to lead. Your scars will shine like lanterns for those still wandering through their own flames. What breaks others will soon become your testimony of resilience. Think of a diamond, buried deep within the earth. It begins as carbon dark, dull, and hidden. Only through unimaginable pressure and heat does it transform into brilliance. That's your story. Chosen one. Heaven looked at your hidden potential and said, turn up the fire, not to harm you, but to reveal what was buried beneath your pain. Fire has always been God's language of renewal. He spoke through burning bushes, guided through pillars of flame, and marked His presence through tongues of fire at Pentecost. Every time fire appeared, something new was being born. So if your life feels like it's burning right now, it only means something divine is being birthed through you. You might see ashes around you, but heaven sees the outline of something reborn. You might feel consumed, but you are actually being clarified. Fire does not end things. It reveals what can withstand eternity. Every ember you endure now will soon become light you carry into dark places. There's a quiet beauty in being refined. You learn to stop clinging to what cannot last. The flame teaches you simplicity, to hold on to faith, peace, and love alone. When the smoke clears, you'll see that what you lost was never meant for you. Only what's eternal remains. And when you finally emerge from this furnace, you won't be who you were before. Your words will carry weight. Your presence will shift atmospheres. You will speak, and people will listen not because you sound impressive, but because your voice will carry the echo of one who has survived the fire and seen God in the midst of it. If this message finds you in your own fire, I want you to take a breath and remember this truth. The flame is not your enemy, it's your ally. It is making you luminous. And if this word has touched your heart, if you can feel that heat of recognition deep within, let this moment mark your renewal. like gold that glows brighter with every refining. Let your light spread. Share this message, not as routine, but as reflection, so that another soul walking through their own fire might find strength in your story. Like this, if your heart understands, because every act of agreement fans the flame of hope in someone else's life. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to stay connected to these words that meet you where the fire burns. Words that remind you that even flames can become wings. Remember, chosen one, the fire that surrounds you today is the same light that will guide others tomorrow. What feels like heat now will soon become the glow of your testimony. You are not being consumed, you are being crowned. There comes a moment, chosen one, when heaven places you at the crossroads between comfort and calling. It is not a gentle intersection, it trembles with divine tension. You can almost feel eternity holding its breath, watching which way you will turn. One path feels safe, familiar, and predictable. The other is narrow, uncertain, lined with the whispers of destiny. And right there, heaven waits to see what your heart will choose. God's tests rarely arrive in obvious form. They often come dressed as decisions, simple choices that reveal the hidden loyalty of your soul. Each time you choose faith over fear, surrender over stubbornness, obedience over impulse, the heavens shift slightly in your favor. You might think you're deciding small things, but heaven sees them as seismic movements in the spirit. You have been feeling the pull, haven't you? The quiet tug that calls you away from what used to satisfy. The things that once filled you now feel hollow. The voices that used to guide you sound distant. That's not confusion, it's divine separation. The moment of choice is here. The Spirit is whispering, come higher. But to rise, you must release. God will never build a future on foundations. He intends to replace. The comfort you cling to could be the very thing delaying your elevation. Sometimes, obedience feels like loss, because we can't yet see the glory waiting on the other side of surrender. You cannot grasp the next chapter if your hands still clutch the last one. Every chosen one reaches this place. Abraham heard it when he was told to leave his homeland. Moses faced it before the burning bush. Esther felt it in the silence of her palace. Torn between safety and purpose, the choice is never easy. But it is always sacred. Because destiny is not discovered, it is decided. You have prayed for clarity, but heaven is asking for courage. The next instruction will not come until you move. The test of this moment is trust. You don't need to understand everything, just take the first step. Faith was never meant to eliminate fear, it was meant to move you despite it. As the prophet Joshua declared in his final address to the tribes of Israel, chapter 24, verse 15, choose this day whom you will serve. That ancient call still echoes through time and now through your own soul. You cannot serve both comfort and calling, both safety and surrender. One must bow to the other. Right now, the heavens are measuring your response. Every hesitation, every maybe later, ripples through eternity. Yet, so does every quiet yes. When you say yes to God, the universe rearranges itself to honor that decision. Doors you didn't even know existed begin to unlock. People you need suddenly appear. Provision flows from unseen sources. It is not magic, it is divine alignment. But make no mistake, the cost of obedience is real. It will strip away pride, ego, and reliance on your own timing. It will isolate you for a while, until only your faith remains. That isolation is not rejection, it is incubation. God hides those He intends to reveal. You may feel unseen, but you are being reserved for glory. Chosen one. This is not a small test. It is the hinge on which your future turns. Every moment of hesitation delays what heaven has prepared. The blessings waiting on the other side of obedience are far greater than the comfort you cling to now. Don't trade eternal impact for temporary ease. You've come too far to stop here. The same God who brought you through the storm will carry you through this decision. You are stronger than your fear, wiser than your doubt, and anointed for the path ahead. Heaven does not ask for perfection, it asks for permission. Will you let God lead you fully? If these words strike that deep chord within you, it means the test has reached its moment. The next few days are not ordinary, they are the threshold. Don't delay. Don't reason it away. Respond with your whole heart. And when you feel that stirring in your spirit, the moment you sense heaven waiting, make it visible. Comment the number 555 below. This number is your prophetic yes. Your public declaration that you are choosing transformation over stagnation. It says, I trust the divine shift that is unfolding, even when I can't see the full picture. You are not typing digits, you are releasing alignment. Heaven moves when earth agrees. Let your comment be the sound of your obedience. The crossroads may look terrifying, but beyond it lies your crown. What feels like sacrifice will soon be seen as exchange fear for faith, hesitation for destiny, comfort for calling. Choose boldly. Chosen one. The heavens are waiting for your step. Temptation does not always arrive with horns and shadows. Chosen one. More often, it comes wearing a smile. It speaks softly, offering comfort when you are weary, opportunity when you are desperate, shortcuts when the road feels too long. It looks harmless, sometimes even holy. That is why discernment is the true armor of the chosen. Not every open door is divine. Some are distractions dressed as destiny. You must understand, the closer you move to break through, the more subtle the enemy becomes. In the early stages, he fought you with fear. Now that you've grown past fear, he shifts his strategy to flattery. When he can't defeat your strength, he appeals to your sympathy. When he can't steal your faith, he offers imitation favor. The counterfeit always comes before the crown. This is the season where you must learn to see beyond appearances. The serpent that approached Eve didn't come in violence, it came in conversation. Temptation rarely shouts, it whispers. It invites you to reason with what you once rebuked, to consider compromise as wisdom. It tells you, surely it's not that serious. And little by little, you lower your guard. But remember, compromise doesn't begin with action, it begins with dialogue. Chosen one. God is not testing you to fail you, He is testing to strengthen your discernment. Every distraction that looks like a blessing is part of your spiritual training. The enemy can offer opportunities, but he cannot give peace. That's your key. If something looks right, but feels heavy in your spirit, step back. Peace is heaven's signature. Counterfeits can imitate beauty, but never peace. There will be moments when the enemy tries to rush you. He will whisper, if you don't act now, you'll miss it. But urgency is not always divine. God's timing does not require panic. His doors do not demand fear. Anything that pressures your peace is not from Him. You may even face people who mean well, but speak from flesh, not spirit. They will tell you what makes sense, not what makes destiny beginned. But don't be persuaded. Many lose their promise by following human logic instead of divine leading. Your path is sacred, tailored only for you. What works for others may destroy you. As the Apostle Paul warned in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 14, Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Those words are not ancient metaphor, they are living truth. The enemy studies you, learns your preferences, your weaknesses, your desires, and then builds illusions shaped precisely to your longing. That is why discernment must become your daily shield. Discernment is not suspicion, it is spiritual vision. It's the ability to sense what eyes cannot see. You develop it in prayer, in silence, in surrender. The more time you spend in God's presence, the clearer you hear His tone. When you know His voice, every counterfeit becomes obvious. Temptation will always appeal to the parts of you that feel unfulfilled. The enemy does not tempt you with things you despise. He tempts you with things you desire outside of God's timing. He knows how to frame delay as denial, to make you think obedience is costing you joy. But what he offers quickly will cost you eternally. You have to guard your gates, your eyes, your ears, your thoughts. Everything you entertain shapes what you eventually accept. The devil doesn't need your worship. He only needs your attention. The moment you start gazing at the wrong thing, your focus begins to shift. And once focus drifts, faith follows. You are too close to be distracted now. Heaven has invested too much in you to watch you trade purpose for pleasure or calling for convenience. Remember, the same serpent that offered fruit also hid poison. Every gift outside of God's order carries a curse inside its sweetness. The path of the chosen will always include the temptation of shortcuts. When Jesus fasted in the wilderness, the devil offered him kingdoms without the cross, glory without suffering, power without purpose. The same lie is whispered to you today. There's an easier way. But true destiny cannot be downloaded. It must be developed. The process you endure is not a delay, it is protection. You have grown too wise to fall for obvious traps. But this next level of warfare demands sharper discernment, deeper sensitivity, and greater stillness. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is wait until peace returns before moving forward. You lose nothing by pausing. You risk everything by rushing. Chosen one. Remember this always. Temptation loses its power when truth fills your heart. When you know who you are, you no longer crave what was never meant for you. When you trust God's plan, you stop chasing what He has already rejected. You have nothing to prove, nothing to force, nothing to fear. The hidden observer watches. Chosen one, not the crowd, not your critics, not even those who cheer you loudly in public but vanish when the battle grows long. No, the one who watches is unseen, silent, yet closer than breath. Heaven studies not what you perform before others, but what you practice when no one is watching. Every private choice carries eternal weight. Every unseen act of obedience becomes a seed that heaven waters in secret. It is easy to appear righteous when the lights are on, but the true measure of the chosen is revealed in the dark. Integrity is born where applause cannot reach. The Father sees what others overlook the moments you chose: kindness instead of vengeance, humility instead of recognition, patience instead of pride. You thought no one noticed, but angels did. They wrote it down. There is a mystery in how heaven measures greatness. The world celebrates the visible, the stage, the voice, the power. But heaven celebrates the invisible, the character, the restraint, the faithfulness. The kingdom of God is upside down compared to the kingdoms of men. What seems small here resounds loudly there. You have felt unseen, haven't you? You've given when no one thanked you, prayed when no one listened, served when no one cared. You've poured out your heart and received silence in return. You have felt overlooked, misunderstood, even forgotten. But the truth is, heaven has never stopped watching. You are being recorded not for punishment, but for promotion. When God promotes, He first observes. Before He entrusts you with visibility, He examines your hiddenness. He watches how you handle loneliness, how you react when misunderstood, how you treat those who cannot repay you. If you can be faithful in the unseen, you can be trusted with the seen. The greatest battles you fight are not against people, but against the temptation to give up when unseen. The enemy whispers. No one notices your effort, hoping to drain your devotion. But heaven whispers back, I see it all. You have been sowing faithfulness for a long time, and even if the world hasn't clapped yet, the reward is already forming. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 6, your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. These words were not given as comfort, they were given as covenant. They mean that every tear, every prayer, every silent act of faith carries promise. You are building something eternal every time you choose obedience in secret. Sometimes God hides you on purpose. You may call it obscurity, but heaven calls it incubation. When you feel unseen, it's not because you've been ignored, it's because you're being developed. The roots of greatness grow underground. Before the fruit can appear, the roots must deepen. God buries His treasures to protect them from premature exposure. You are one of those treasures. The hidden season refines motives. When no one sees, you learn to do things purely for love, not for applause. You pray not for attention, but for alignment. You serve not to be noticed, but to be near. The absence of an audience reveals who you truly are, and God always honors the genuine. There's a sacred beauty in anonymity. It strips away the noise and brings you face to face with your true purpose. In hiddenness, you remember that you were never called to impress, only to obey. That realization frees you from comparison. You stop measuring yourself against others because you understand that your value has never depended on visibility. When the time is right, heaven will reveal what has been concealed. God does not forget faithful hearts. The same eyes that watched you in obscurity will shine upon you in favor, and when that day comes, the reward will not be a stage or applause, but divine recognition, the Father saying, well done, good and faithful servant. Do not rush this process. The hidden observer is patient because he is thorough. He is crafting something within you that fame cannot sustain. Every delay, every quiet moment of obedience is strengthening your spirit to handle the weight of your next assignment. Chosen one. You are not invisible. You are intentionally concealed. Heaven does not waste purity. The longer you stay unseen, the deeper the roots of your authenticity grow. When the world finally sees you, it will not just see a person, it will see the reflection of God through a life refined by silence, devotion, and unwavering faith. So remain steadfast in secret. Keep doing the right thing even when no one claps. Keep giving even when no one notices. Keep praying even when heaven feels still. The hidden observer has already marked your name for remembrance, and soon, what was done in silence will echo loudly across eternity as proof that you were faithful when it mattered most. The breaking point, every chosen one meets it. That moment where your strength collapses beneath the weight of what you've carried too long. You pray, and words don't come. You stand in faith but feel nothing. Your hands shake. Your hope thins. And your heart whispers, "I can't do this anymore." But listen closely, because heaven leans in closest at the breaking point. This is not where you end. This is where you are remade. Breaking is not failure, it's transformation in disguise. A seed must break before it sprouts. A cocoon must tear before the butterfly emerges. The alabaster jar had to shatter before its fragrance filled the room. You, too, must break open for the glory within you to be released. The pressure is not meant to kill you, it's meant to reveal the treasure hidden inside. God is not distant in your breaking. He is present in it. The same hands that allow the weight are the ones that catch every piece as you fall apart. He does not mock your pain, he molds it. He gathers your fragments like a master sculptor, shaping something you could not imagine when you were whole. What you call broken, heaven calls becoming. You may feel like your prayers hit walls, like your effort returns void. But even your exhaustion speaks. The tears that fall without words are translated by the Spirit. The sighs you release are carried as songs before the throne. God does not need eloquence, he needs honesty. And right now, your raw honesty is your greatest offering. When you reach your limit, remember that grace begins there. The end of your strength is the doorway to his. Every time you whisper, "Help," heaven responds with fresh mercy. You are not weak for needing grace, you are wise for seeking it. Strength was never meant to be constant, it was meant to be replenished. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, "The Lord is close to the broken-hearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." These words are not poetry, they are promise. They remind you that the distance you feel is an illusion, because the closer your heart is to breaking, the nearer his presence draws. Chosen one. It is okay to fall apart. You are not a failure for feeling tired. You are not faithless for feeling afraid. Even Jesus wept. Even he groaned beneath the weight of his assignment. The breaking is proof that you're carrying something divine, because only the chosen are stretched this far. You are in the hands of the refiner, and he will not let the fire consume you. He will not allow the crushing to be wasted. Every ounce of pain has purpose. The nights that felt endless, the prayers that seemed unanswered, the storms that refused to calm, these are not signs of abandonment, but indicators of intimacy. God trusts you enough to break you because he intends to build you stronger. There's a sacred stillness that follows the breaking. It's the silence after the storm, when your tears dry, but your heart still trembles. That's when heaven begins its quiet work. You may not feel it, but something inside you is aligning. The cracks in your spirit are being filled with divine light. What once felt like ruin will soon become radiance. The breaking point teaches you what sermons cannot. It teaches you dependency, not on people, not on outcomes, but on God Himself. It strips away the illusion that you can do this alone. And in that raw vulnerability, intimacy deepens. The God who once felt distant now becomes tangible, because you finally let Him hold what you were trying to fix. So if you're standing at your breaking point now, if your faith feels thin, your strength fading, your hope trembling, know this: you are not falling apart. You are falling into grace. What feels like the end is actually the unveiling of divine renewal. Heaven is not waiting for you to be strong. Heaven is waiting for you to surrender. And when you feel that surrender rising inside, let it be known. Comment: I still stand. Those 3 words are not pride, they are prophecy. They mean, I may be broken, but I'm not gone. I may be weary, but I refuse to bow to despair. When you type them, you're not just expressing faith, you're activating it. You're reminding yourself, and the unseen realms watching you, that endurance still beats in your chest. So stand, chosen one. Even if your standing looks like trembling, you are not defined by what broke you, but by the light that refused to leave you. The same God who allowed this breaking is already preparing the beauty that will rise from it. One day, you'll look back at this very moment and realize it wasn't the end of your story. It was the chapter where grace began to write in fire. There are storms that strike without warning. Chosen one, winds that howl through the soul, waves that rise higher than your courage, nights where even prayer feels swallowed by thunder. You've been walking through one, haven't you? The kind that shakes not just your circumstances, but your very sense of identity. Yet here is the truth. Storms are not sent to destroy the chosen, they are sent to awaken what sleeps within them. The tempest around you is not proof of God's absence, it's proof of your anointing. Storms only rise around vessels that carry something valuable. The enemy would not waste such fury on an empty ship. You are being tested not because you are weak, but because you are carrying a word powerful enough to change atmospheres. The storm is heaven's classroom, and you are its student of strength. It was written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Not if, but when. That means storms are not optional for the chosen. They are essential, but so is His presence within them. You may feel surrounded by trouble, but in truth, you are surrounded by grace. The storm you face right now is shaping you into a vessel of calm for others. When you survive this, your voice will carry authority in rooms where panic reigns. You will be able to speak peace into chaos because you've known what it feels like to drown and still find breath. You'll recognize storms not as punishment, but as passageways to power. Think of an eagle. When the wind grows violent, smaller birds heed, but the eagle spreads its wings and lets the storm lift it higher. That's what you're learning now, to use resistance as elevation. The winds that tried to bury you are about to carry you. What once felt like warfare will soon become wind beneath your wings. The same waves that frightened the disciples later carried them to the shore of new purpose. The same flood that covered the earth became the foundation of Noah's new beginning. The same fire that burned the bush became the voice that called Moses into destiny. Every storm has dual nature. It destroys the unrooted and defines the chosen. You are not being drowned. You are being delivered. There will come a moment, perhaps soon, when the clouds begin to part, and you'll see sunlight dancing on the waters that once terrified you. You will realize that the storm didn't steal your peace. It revealed it. It didn't end your purpose. It clarified it. The shaking did not destroy you. It removed everything that was never meant to stay. And when that moment comes, your heart will soften toward others, still trapped in their own storms. You will speak to them not with pity, but with understanding. Your words will drip with grace, because they'll come from a soul that remembers what it felt like to sink and be lifted. Your storm will become someone else's survival guide. If this message finds you in the middle of crashing waves, take this as your sign. You are not alone in the storm. Heaven is in the boat with you. The same voice that commands lightning also whispers peace into your heart. This is not the end. It's the wind that's pushing you into purpose. And if you've felt this truth strike deep, if the words seem to echo the rhythm of your own heart, let this moment matter. Like this message, not out of routine, but as your silent Amen. Share it so someone else fighting their own storm might see your light on the horizon and remember hope. And if your spirit has found strength here, subscribe not to content, but to connection, to stay aligned with the reminders. Heaven keeps sending your way, because storms end. Chosen one, they always do. And when the calm returns, you'll find that you are not the same. You are steadier, deeper, and far more radiant than before. The waves that once frightened you have become your foundation. The winds that once howled now sound like worship. You have survived what others did not, and that survival is your crown. So, lift your head. The storm is no longer your enemy, it's your initiation. Heaven does not abandon those it refines. You are almost through, and on the other side of this storm waits a sky that was always yours. There are moments, chosen one, when you walk through the unseen and feel the presence of something holy surrounding you. It's not imagination, it's alignment. Heaven has assigned watchers to your journey. They do not interfere without divine command, but they are always near, recording, guarding, guiding. You are never alone. Even when it feels like you're walking through shadows, every chosen vessel walks with unseen company. These angelic messengers do not draw attention to themselves. Their joy is to protect the anointed. They shield, whisper, and sometimes shift entire circumstances just to keep you on the right path. You have survived battles you didn't even know you were fighting because heaven's soldiers stood between you and unseen harm. There have been nights when you felt a sudden calm in the midst of chaos that was not coincidence. There were moments when you narrowly escaped disaster, when one decision or delay spared your life that was not luck. Heaven intervenes quietly. The angels assigned to you work with divine precision, carrying out orders that align with the will of God over your life. These are not fragile beings of myth or dream. They are instruments of light, moving faster than thought, stronger than storms, obedient to every word spoken from the throne. Their presence does not depend on your worthiness, but on your calling. God sent them not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen, and your assignment is too valuable to leave unguarded. You may not see them, but they see you. They see your late-night prayers, your trembling faith, your endurance through pain. They write down your obedience, your tears, your whispered words of forgiveness when anger burned inside you. Each act of faith becomes evidence before heaven's court, a testimony that you are ready for what's next. As the psalmist wrote in his sacred song, chapter 91, verse 11, "He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This is not a poetic comfort, it is a decree, sealed by divine authority. It means that your path is monitored by heaven's watchful eyes. Every step you take, every danger you face, every threat that rises against you is seen before it even reaches your shadow. Sometimes you will feel their presence in the stillness, a warmth, a peace, a knowing that you are not walking alone. Other times, their work happens in silence, shifting obstacles you didn't even know existed. Their protection is not always visible, it is often preventive. They stop what would have destroyed you before it even forms. There are angels of strength who stand beside you when you think you can't go on. Angels of healing who touch wounds no one else can reach. Angels of warfare who surround you when darkness grows bold. And there are angels of remembrance who present your prayers before the throne, ensuring that nothing you've prayed in faith is ever forgotten. When you walk into a room and sense peace without reason, understand, heaven has gone before you. When you feel courage rising from nowhere, that's reinforcement from realms unseen. When the right word comes to your mind at the right moment, that's not coincidence, it's divine prompting. Chosen one. You were never designed to fight alone. Even when people walk away, heaven fills the empty space with its army. The divine assignment on your life has drawn attention in both realms, light and darkness. But remember, for every demon that plots against you, there are angels who already stand between you and harm. The ratio is not equal. Light always outnumbers darkness. This is why your peace returns so suddenly after prayer. This is why your spirit rises even when your body is tired. The presence of the angelic carries atmosphere with it, peace that surpasses understanding, strength that defies logic. You are walking beneath divine escort, and though they do not seek worship, the angels rejoice in your endurance. Every time you choose faith, they celebrate. Every time you speak hope, they echo your words in heaven's language. You have allies in places higher than the sky, sent not to replace your faith, but to strengthen it. So, walk boldly. You are not surrounded by uncertainty, you are surrounded by light. The air around you hums with divine assignment. Your prayers are never unheard, your steps never unguarded. Even when you wander, mercy sends guardians to redirect your path. The world may see you as one person standing alone, but in truth, you move with an entourage of eternity. Every step you take resounds through both realms. The angels walk in rhythm with your obedience, and their watch will not end until your mission is complete. Rest. Chosen one. Heaven is closer than your fear. You are protected not by chance, but by covenant. And when you rise tomorrow, remember you do not rise alone. Something has shifted within you. Chosen one. The atmosphere around your spirit feels lighter now, not because the battles have ended, but because you've begun to understand their purpose. The signs are appearing, small but undeniable. That strange peace that shows up in the middle of chaos. That quiet strength when you should be weary. That calm assurance that whispers, "It's working out, even if I can't see it. These are the signals of heaven, proof that you are passing the test. The signs of approval don't always come as lightning or miracles. Sometimes they come as rest. The tension that once ruled your heart begins to loosen. Your tears still fall. But they no longer taste like defeat, they taste like cleansing. You find yourself thanking God for things that once made you cry. That is what divine growth looks like. You used to ask, "Why me?" But now you ask, "What are you teaching me?" That shift in language is sacred. It means your spirit has matured. You no longer interpret pain as punishment, but as preparation. That's when heaven takes notice, because faith that remains steady in storms is faith that heaven can trust with power. The people around you may not understand it. They'll look at you and think nothing has changed, unaware that inside, your roots have gone deeper. The shaking no longer terrifies you because you finally recognize the pattern. Before every promotion comes pressure, and after every breaking comes blessing. You have learned to stay still while God rearranges the unseen. According to what is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 3, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast." That peace you feel now is not an accident, it's evidence. It means you've stopped trying to control the process and started trusting the promise. That shift alone unlocks what striving never could. Chosen one. You may not realize it, but heaven is already sending subtle confirmations. You're starting to meet the right people at the right time. Ideas that once seemed distant are now resurfacing. Doors that once felt sealed are beginning to stir. Don't rush them, just stay aligned. What is meant for you is already moving toward you. It's just adjusting its timing to your readiness. There's a glow about you now. An unseen light that others can feel, even if they can't explain it. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You carry the presence of someone who has been through fire and come out refined. When you speak, peace follows. When you walk into a room, tension breaks. You've become a carrier of calm in a chaotic world. These are not coincidences, they're confirmations. The signs of passing are subtle but sacred. You wake up with gratitude instead of anxiety. You trust the delay instead of resenting it. You pray not just for blessings, but for alignment. And when something ends, you no longer panic, you whisper, "It must be part of His plan." That is the sound of a soul in synchronization with heaven. Every test had a purpose. Every silence had a lesson. Every heartbreak removed something that could not go where you're going. You thought you were losing, but you were actually being pruned for fruitfulness. And now, the buds of that season are beginning to appear. Soon, what you endured privately will manifest publicly as favor that cannot be denied. You are walking proof that peace is not the absence of trouble, it's the presence of trust. What once frightened you now fuels you. You no longer chase after blessings, they begin to chase you. Drawn to the frequency of your faith. That's how heaven recognizes its own. It moves toward peace. So when you see small moments of divine order, a word spoken at the perfect time, a door opening that no hand touched, an inner strength that rises without warning, don't dismiss them. These are not small. They are heaven's way of saying, "You are ready. Chosen one." You have come a long way from the trembling soul who once begged for signs. Now, you are the sign. Your life is becoming evidence of divine faithfulness. The test is nearing its conclusion, and the report reads, "Approved. Len, If you can feel this truth burning inside you, if the peace in your spirit confirms what these words have spoken, then let your faith answer heaven's signal. Comment the number 888 below. It is your prophetic declaration of new beginnings and completed cycles. It says, I receive the shift. I am aligned. I am ready. Len, when you type it, don't do it as habit, do it as covenant. Let every digit be a declaration that you have recognized the signs, that you have embraced the process, that you trust the timing. Heaven counts agreement as action. The signs are clear. Chosen one. You are no longer in the middle of testing, you are stepping into testimony. The peace within you is proof that the war around you has lost its authority. What was once trial is now triumph. And what was once waiting has become awakening. Delay is one of heaven's most misunderstood gifts. Chosen one. It does not come to torment you, but to train you. You have waited so long that you've memorized the feeling of stillness, wondered if God forgot your name, and questioned if the promise was ever truly yours. Yet even now, heaven whispers the same truth it has spoken to every soul destined for greatness. What is delayed is not denied. The waiting is not a punishment. It is a forge. It stretches time the way a potter stretches clay, shaping your character to fit the blessing that's being molded for you. The promise must match the person, and so heaven works in parallel, refining both gift and guardian until they meet at the same divine moment. Patience, in God's language, is not about sitting still. It's about holding faith while you're moving forward. It's the art of walking even when the map is hidden. Waiting is not idle, it is active trust. Every day you choose to keep believing. Every time you smile when you could complain, you are building muscle in the unseen. Heaven keeps score differently. It counts your endurance as evidence of maturity. There is something sacred about this kind of delay. It humbles you without humiliating you. It presses you just enough to expose what still clings to fear. It teaches you to want the promiser more than the promise. And once you reach that point when you can say, even if it never comes, I still trust you, that is when heaven begins to move. The long wait refines your motives. In the beginning, you might have prayed for blessings to prove your worth, to silence doubters, to be seen. But over time, as you waited, the noise around you faded and your heart grew quieter. You began to pray differently, not for validation, but for alignment. You stopped saying, "When? God?" and started saying, "How do you want me to grow while I wait?" That shift is holy. It transforms waiting from prison to preparation. In every story of divine timing, the pause comes before the miracle. Joseph waited in prison before standing in Pharaoh's palace. Hannah wept for years before Samuel's cry filled her home. David hid in caves before sitting on the throne. Even Jesus lived in obscurity for 30 years before 3 years of ministry changed the world. Heaven always builds patience before power. According to the prophet Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 31, those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. Notice that word, renew. It means waiting does not deplete you, it restores you. Every day you trust again. Strength quietly returns, like roots drinking unseen water beneath the soil. Your faith grows deeper while nothing above the surface seems to move. You may think the delay is working against you, but it is working within you. God is not simply preparing the blessing, He's preparing you to sustain it. A door opened too early can crush the one who walks through it unready. But when the time is right, what once felt impossible will flow effortlessly, because you will have become the kind of person who can hold what you prayed for. Chosen one. You have been faithful through long nights and slow seasons. You've watched others receive their harvest while you still tended dry soil. But what you didn't see is how heaven kept watering you in secret. The roots of your patience have reached depths that storms cannot touch. When your season shifts, the fruit that appears will be too heavy for envy. It will demand reverence. So do not confuse delay with denial. The space between promise and fulfillment is sacred. It's where God writes identity into your spirit. It's where He tests your motives, polishes your endurance, and teaches your heart to recognize His voice more than His gifts. You are not waiting for the world to open. The world is waiting for you to be revealed. Heaven is orchestrating details you cannot yet see, setting the stage so that when your name is called, everything will already be aligned. And when that moment comes, it will not require striving. The very doors that resisted you will open of their own accord, not because you forced them, but because you became what you were waiting for. So breathe deeply. Chosen one. The delay is divine. The promise is not late, it's precise. Every heartbeat of waiting has been accounted for in heaven's calendar. You have not missed your moment, you are being measured for it. And when it arrives, you will no longer see waiting as wasted time. You will call it by its true name, preparation. Because what is coming will not just bless you, it will outlive you. The unseen promotion, chosen one, is already unfolding around you. It moves quietly, beneath notice, beneath noise. You will not find it in sudden applause or open praise. It appears like dawn, slow and steady, spreading warmth before the light becomes visible. Heaven's rewards rarely announce themselves. They begin as small shifts, an idea that stirs at the right time, a person who crosses your path by what seems to be coincidence, a peace that falls where fear once lived. Promotion in the kingdom does not come through position, it comes through posture. It is not achieved, it is received. While the world promotes through visibility, heaven promotes through humility. Every unseen act of faithfulness has been counted, every sacrifice documented, every unseen yes recorded. You have passed tests that others didn't even know existed. And now, the time of quiet preparation is giving birth to divine elevation. This promotion does not look like fame, it looks like fruit. The evidence of growth will not be louder, applause, but deeper peace. You'll find yourself responding differently to pressure, speaking with grace where anger once ruled, walking with wisdom where confusion once reigned. You are becoming the kind of person heaven can build upon. The unseen work within you is producing visible transformation around you. Humble beginnings always hide holy advancement. Think of David anointed as king in a field of sheep. No crown, no throne, just oil dripping onto soil that didn't understand what it witnessed. Yet the oil was enough. It marked him long before the people did. That's how it is for you now. You've already been marked. The world just hasn't caught up yet. When heaven promotes, it does not send announcements, it shifts atmospheres. You will notice conversations changing, opportunities aligning, favor following. Doors that used to require knocking will start to open on approach. People who once overlooked you will suddenly remember your name. and they won't even understand why. It's not luck, it's recognition. Creation itself begins to respond to the frequency of your obedience. As the Apostle Peter wrote in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 6, "Humble yourselves under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." That phrase, "in due time," is sacred. It means there is a clock in heaven that runs differently from ours. It does not tick to our impatience, but to divine precision. Every moment of waiting, every act of obedience, every tear of surrender has been aligning with that appointed hour. Promotion in God's kingdom is not a leap, it's a lift. He raises you in such a way that your roots stay deep while your reach grows wide. You are not being pulled upward by pride, but elevated by grace. That is why it feels calm, not chaotic. The promotion that destroys peace is not from God. His promotion brings balance, clarity, and quiet authority. You won't need to announce it. True elevation speaks for itself. People will begin to notice that your presence carries something different, an ease, a glow, a weight of peace. You won't have to explain how it happened. Those who knew your struggles will simply sense that the wilderness has ended and a new season has begun. Chosen one. Heaven's kind of promotion does not change who you are. It reveals who you were all along. It uncovers the strength that trials forged, the wisdom that silence grew, and the compassion that pain planted. You are being lifted, not because of what you've done, but because of who you've become. The same storms that once threatened to drown you have now become proof of your readiness. The same valleys that broke you became the training grounds for empathy. You are being entrusted with more because you have proven faithful with little. When this promotion manifests, it will not only benefit you, it will heal others. Your testimony will become a doorway for those still trapped in their own tests. You will speak, and something in them will awaken, because your words will carry the weight of authenticity. So do not seek to prove your worth. You already passed the test. Do not chase recognition. What is yours cannot be hidden. The hand of God is lifting you even now, not above others, but above limitation, above fear, above the shadows that tried to claim your peace. This unseen promotion is not coming, it has begun. Every breath you take in peace, every moment you choose stillness over striving, every decision that reflects trust instead of control, these are signs that the elevation is already here. You are rising quietly, steadily, beautifully. The world may not see it yet, but heaven has already applauded. And soon, what was invisible will become undeniable. The crown of endurance is not made of gold. Chosen one, it is woven from scars. It glimmers with the light of nights you survived, of prayers whispered through trembling lips, of wounds that closed, not with time, but with faith. Every mark upon your soul has been transformed into brilliance, a testimony of divine resilience. You are wearing the unseen crown already, even if the world has not yet recognized it. The journey you have walked was never meant to be easy. Mountains were placed before you not to block your path, but to teach you how to climb. Each valley carved empathy into your heart. Each loss hollowed a space for wisdom to dwell. The road of the chosen winds through shadows, because light must be learned before it can be carried. And now, you carry it well quietly, humbly, steadily. Endurance is heaven's proof of royalty. Anyone can begin the race, but only the crowned finish. Endurance is not the absence of weakness, it is the decision to keep walking while weak. You have done that. You have walked with bleeding feet, carried hope in weary hands, and believed when believing felt impossible. That persistence, that stubborn faith, that's your crown being forged. The Apostle Paul proclaimed in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." These words are more than farewell. They are the anthem of endurance. They remind you that heaven does not measure success by speed, but by perseverance, that the victory belongs to those who refuse to surrender their faith when everything else falls away. Chosen one. Look back on your journey. Every valley you crossed, every tear you sowed, every time you whispered, "Still I believe," that was a jewel added to your crown. Each hardship carved beauty into your endurance. Your patience became your armor, your pain became your proof, and your faith became your fragrance. Think of the butterfly, once bound within darkness, struggling against its cocoon. From outside, the struggle looks cruel, but if you were to cut it free, its wings would never strengthen enough to fly. The fight is necessary for the flight. That is your story. The resistance built your wings. The struggle became your strength. You are now able to soar where you once crawled. The world may see your survival as coincidence, but heaven calls it coronation. The moment you chose faith instead of fear, you were being crowned. When you forgave those who wounded you, your crown grew brighter. When you refused to give up, even when everything inside you screamed to stop, heaven placed another jewel of endurance upon your head. You wear it now, not as pride, but as presence. People sense it when they speak to you. They feel peace around you without knowing why. You carry authority, born not from titles, but from trials. This is what true kings and queens in the spirit look like. They lead by compassion, speak with mercy, and heal through authenticity. And now, chosen one, as you stand in this new strength, don't forget, crowns are not just worn, they are shared. Your endurance is not only for you, it becomes hope for someone else. The light you carry was never meant to stay contained. It's a torch meant to ignite others who are still stumbling through their nights. So if this word reaches you and something inside whispers, "That's me," then let it awaken gratitude, not pride. You've walked through fire, yes, but now you glow because of it. Like this message, not for attention, but as an act of acknowledgement, your quiet thank you to heaven for every battle you've survived. Share it with someone whose knees are trembling under the same weight you once carried, because your story might be the spark that keeps them standing. You never know who is watching you to remember what hope looks like. And if these words have stirred something deep within, if you've recognized your journey in these lines, subscribe not just to stay connected to words like these, but to stay surrounded by reminders that faith still breathes, that endurance still crowns, that heaven still rewards the ones who keep walking. Finally, take a moment before you scroll away. Reflect on your own path and write it into existence. Comment below, "Still crowned." Let the world and heaven see that no fire, no storm, no heartbreak was able to remove your crown. It might be invisible to eyes of flesh, but in the spirit, it blazes like morning. The crown of endurance cannot be given, it must be grown. And you, chosen one, have grown it through every heartbreak, every delay, every test. Wear it humbly, shine quietly, and keep walking, because the path ahead will reveal why every moment of pain was necessary to shape your royalty. There comes a moment after every storm, chosen one, when the air feels different, lighter, softer, carrying the scent of rain-soaked soil and new beginnings. That's where you stand now, in the aftermath of your testing, in the sacred silence where revelation begins to bloom. You've endured the pressure, passed through the fire, and now the light is beginning to reveal what it was all for. The revelation after the test is rarely loud. It doesn't arrive in thunder or fireworks. It comes gently like sunrise after a sleepless night, like a whisper after a long silence. You start to notice how everything that once felt meaningless now connects with divine precision. The pieces you thought were broken form a pattern too beautiful for coincidence. You realize that the pain was never random, it was orchestrated. God never wastes a wound. Every hardship became a teacher, every delay, our doorway. The storm you feared was actually the classroom where heaven taught you the language of trust. You learned that real faith is not believing God will stop the storm, it's knowing He will stand with you through it. You discovered that His silence was not absence, but an invitation to deeper listening. Every chosen soul must go through this unveiling. It is the moment when the eyes of your spirit adjust to see not what was lost, but what was gained. Patience grew roots. Faith developed wings. Compassion deepened. You are no longer who you were before the test. You are wiser, quieter, more anchored in truth. The revelation also brings humility. You realize that what sustained you was never your own willpower, but grace. When you thought you were holding on, it was heaven holding you. When you thought you were forgotten, it was mercy keeping you hidden. What looked like delay was actually divine timing, shielding you from what you weren't ready to face. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 5. Know then in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so the Lord your God disciplines you. This is the revelation behind every test, that discipline is not rejection, but affection. God corrects what He intends to crown. The trials were not punishment, they were preparation for inheritance. Chosen one. This understanding changes everything. You stop fighting the process and start flowing with it. You stop demanding answers and start discerning patterns. Life stops feeling random and begins to feel rhythmic, orchestrated by a composer who never misses a note. The once blurred seasons of your past align into a melody of mercy. This is the point where gratitude replaces grief. You start thanking God not just for the blessings, but for the lessons that came disguised as pain. You thank Him for the nights that built your endurance, for the silence that refined your hearing, for the loss that made room for new life. Gratitude becomes revelation's natural response. It keeps your heart open to receive even greater understanding. You realize, too, that the revelation was not only about your story, it's about your purpose. God allows the tested to become teachers. You carry light that others in darkness can follow. You can now speak not from theory, but from transformation. Every scar you bear is now scripture written upon your skin, a living testimony that faith survives. Fire. The revelation after the test also brings discernment. You can sense storms before they form, recognize distractions before they deceive, and feel when peace is being disturbed. That's the reward of endurance. Your spirit becomes finely tuned to heaven's frequency. You no longer panic when things shake, because you know shaking precedes shifting. Chosen one, stand still for a moment and breathe this truth. Everything that tried to break you became the birthplace of wisdom. The pain that once silenced you has become your prophecy. The wounds that once bled now glow with light. This is revelation, the moment when suffering finds its sentence in God's story. You are not who you were before this test, and that is the proof of its purpose. You have graduated from mere survival into understanding. The refining was real, but so is the reward. Revelation is not just knowledge, it is vision. It allows you to see what others overlook, to discern where others doubt, to walk with clarity through confusion. So rest in this knowing. You have seen what few have eyes to see. The veil is lifted. The test has spoken. The revelation is here, and it has called your name. And now, chosen one, the season of testing draws to a close. The dust has settled. The fire has cooled. And you stand on the other side, not the same as before, but transformed. The storms that once raged have grown quiet, and in their silence, something holy fills the air. You sense it even now, the blessing, long prepared, finally released. It does not arrive with fanfare or noise, but with peace. True blessings rarely make a sound. They move like dawn breaking gently across a weary sky. You begin to notice it in small ways. First, the clarity in your thoughts, the ease in your spirit, the way things that once drained you now pass by without power. It is not that life has become easier, it is that your heart has become steadier. The test has done its work. The blessing does not come to replace the pain, it comes to redeem it. Every loss, every delay, every moment of despair now finds meaning in what's unfolding. The same ground watered by your tears becomes fertile with promise. The very path that once exhausted you now feels lighter beneath your feet. Heaven has turned the battlefield into holy ground. This blessing is not merely material, it is transformation made visible. It's the maturity that allows you to walk in peace where you once walked in panic. It's the inner calm that stays steady even when outer things shift. You are no longer chasing favor, you are carrying it. The anointing upon you is not loud or dramatic, it is quiet and weighty, felt by every soul that crosses your path. The Apostle Peter revealed this mystery in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 10. After you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. 4 promises in one verse: restoration for what was lost, confirmation for what was doubted, strength for what was weakened, and establishment for what was unstable. That is the essence of divine blessing, not just receiving something new, but being rebuilt into something unshakable. Chosen one, you have reached that sacred place. The refining fire has produced endurance, and endurance has given birth to authority. You carry now what cannot be taken, peace that surpasses understanding, faith that doesn't depend on feelings, love that persists even through pain. These are the true treasures heaven releases after testing. You will begin to notice that life responds differently now. Opportunities align effortlessly. The right words find you. The wrong ones fade quietly. Where you once had to fight for every inch, now doors open before you because heaven recognizes your readiness. The testing season was about building capacity, and now you are a vessel large enough to hold the outpouring. Still, remember this truth: blessings are not an end, they are a beginning. The reward is not a finish line but an invitation to steward what you've been given with grace. You have not graduated from dependence, you've grown into partnership. The same God who tested you will now trust you to carry His light into darker places, to guide others who are still trembling under their own storms. Do not forget where you came from. The crown of endurance you wear is meant to remind you of humility. Every time you see the evidence of your blessing, remember the nights that built it. Gratitude will keep the oil flowing. Pride would close the heavens, but gratitude keeps them open. And perhaps the greatest blessing of all is the clarity you now walk in. You no longer confuse comfort with calling. You no longer mistake silence for absence. You understand now that every season, joy or sorrow, noise or stillness, carries revelation if you're willing to listen. That is the wisdom only testing can give. So, chosen one, stand tall in this moment, not as a survivor, but as a witness. You have seen the faithfulness of God firsthand. The test that once terrified you has become the foundation beneath your feet. You are proof that endurance is never wasted, that obedience always leads to overflow. This blessing is not the end of your story, it is the start of a new one. The wilderness has served its purpose. The waiting has been fulfilled. Heaven's gates have opened, and the wind of divine favor begins to move again around your life. Step forward gently, with peace in your stride and wisdom in your gaze. You are walking not into uncertainty, but into completion. The test is over. The promise stands. The blessing is here, and it bears your name. Chosen one, you've walked through every fire and finished the journey heaven designed. From the first whisper of testing to this final revelation, you have endured, learned, and risen. The words you've just read were never random. They were a mirror, reflecting your own becoming. You've seen yourself in these pages because heaven has been shaping you all along. Now, as this message closes, let gratitude take its place beside you. You are no longer standing in survival. You are standing in strength. The same God who tested you has crowned you. The story is far from over. It's simply turning toward new beginnings. If these words have found you at the perfect time, let them keep breathing beyond this moment. Like this message, if it stirred something deep inside you, share it so another weary heart might find light through your flame. Comment below what line or moment resonated with your spirit, because your words might become someone else's confirmation. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, not out of routine, but to stay connected to the flow of divine reminders that keep faith alive. The journey continues. Chosen one, the blessing has only begun.